training in Hershey, Pennsylvania. That was back in the 50s when I was young, and my family was so into the Eagles at that time that my father worked at a steel mill, and every summer he would get 2 weeks off. And while everybody else's parents took their 2-week summer vacation to go down to Jersey Shore or the Poconos, our 2-week summer vacation, we would load up the car, we would drive to Hershey, Pennsylvania. For 2 weeks, we would watch the Eagles practice. That was our summer vacation every year when I was growing up. That was how much my family loved the football team. And believe me, my mother was as into it as my dad was. I mean, they were that great fans of this team. So that was the family within which I was raised. And I think it had a lot to do with the career path that I chose, or was chosen for me. Tom was talking about his favorite player was Sheldon Brown. My favorite player in those days was Tommy McDonald, who was a wide receiver for that team, and was a great player. In 1960, the year they won the championship, in a 12-game regular season, he caught 13 touchdown passes in a 12-game season, and one more in the championship game. He's the best receiver I ever saw. And when I was a little kid, I just idolized him. And when we would go up to Hershey, the team used to dress in the basement of the old hockey arena there. And they would have to walk 2 blocks through the city to get to the field where they practiced. And kids like me who were there, we would stand at the top of the steps, and we would wait for the players to come up. And we would ask, can I carry your helmet? And we would walk with them, and we would carry their helmets the 2 blocks to the field. And of course, most of the kids were waiting for Tommy McDonald because he was everybody's favorite player. And in the course of the 2 weeks, I'd be standing there jostling around with the other kids and hoping that Tommy would pick me one day. And in 2 weeks, if I was lucky, he might pick me twice. But it was the greatest thrill, is walking with my hero, carrying his helmet and handing it to him before he went on the practice field. And then that season, going to watch him play at Franklin Field, scoring touchdowns and helping the Eagles win a championship. The story, to fast forward the story, I get into the career that I got into, which is sports writing. I became the Philadelphia voter for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. When I became the Philadelphia voter, I began trying my best to make a case for Tommy to be in the Hall of Fame, because clearly he deserved it. 84 career touchdown catches. At the time that he retired, he was second all-time of all players in touchdown receptions. Only one guy that had ever played the game had more touchdown catches than him at the time that he retired. Terrible injustice that he had never gotten in the Hall of Fame, but that was the way it worked. But when I got on the Hall of Fame selection committee, I began handing out his stats and began trying to make a case for him to get in the Hall of Fame. And he found out about it. And he called me at home one night, and he said, I heard what you're doing for me with the Hall of Fame. I can't tell you how much that means to me, and if I ever get in, I want you to be my presenter in Canton. And lo and behold, in 1998, he got voted into the Hall of Fame. And he said to me, I'll never forget him calling me the day he found out. And he said August 1st, Canton, Ohio, you and me, baby. And so, bottom line of the story is, August the 2nd, 1998, in Canton, Ohio, I'm riding in the back of a convertible through the streets of Canton, Ohio, with 200,000 people lining the sidewalks. And on the way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I'm riding next to my boyhood hero on the way to the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to make the speech that presents him for induction. Now, think about 1957, standing on the steps of that weight, asking if I could carry his helmet. Now I'm riding with him to the Hall of Fame. What an incredible, incredible moment. And I still look back on that and think, what are the odds that that could happen to anybody? That you could have that kind of moment with the guy that was your boyhood hero. But I was lucky enough to have that. So that's my relationship with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's about as special as it gets. And Tom's is one that's just beautifully, beautifully told. And it's very much a football team in its city, a father and a son. But I think that's how a lot of people relate to this sport. And it's how a lot of people in this city relate to that football team. So that, in a nutshell, I mean, I have a million Eagle stories because I've been around them for so long. But that one about Tommy McDonald is the one that, I will always carry with me, for sure.